Good morning, everyone. Lawrence Fleming here again. I love getting out in the morning, get a fresh start for the day. Although this is the South. We're back in the 30s again at last night. So we're not quite to Easter yet. Don't plant until after Easter when you live in the South. All right. I've got to do another short video, but I'm going to do this a little bit more on topic. Yesterday was kind of a fun day for posting, but we're over that. And I'm just trying to keep my ear out on what's going on in the news. But I am reminded that we still have one other prophet that we've kind of been ignoring for a little bit. And we're going to look at Isaiah. He's predicted that Damascus is going to be destroyed. Well, it's in Syria. And we're having some issues starting to crop up there. Russia told Israel that every time you go in there and bomb, you're provoking us. Well, they're busy right now with Ukraine. But the Ukraine war doesn't seem right. We're getting conflicting information about what's going on there. Yeah, I know he really doesn't want to fight a war there because he's not doing it right. At least as the media tells us. And he's smarter than that, so there's got to be another plan. Maybe this is all orchestrated, I don't know. He wants access to the Gulf, and eventually he's going to want Israel's natural gas that they've got. So I think Syria would be a good place for that. Israel just bombed another container shipment from Iran. That's got to provoke Iran. They're probably working on something right now. Whenever there's silence, they're busy planning or staging. They never sit back. They never take time off. So there's something going on. So I want to take a look at Isaiah 17 and its prediction. And let's take a look at that now. And he's gone along talking about other areas that are being destroyed, but this is going to be with Syria. The burden in 17:1, the burden against Damascus. Behold, Damascus will cease being a city. It's a pretty good sized city. To cease being a city is fairly informative. And it will be a ruinous heap. The cities of Aor are forsaken. They will be for flocks which lie down, and no one will make them afraid. The fortress will also cease in Ephraim, the kingdom of Damascus, and the remnant of Syria. They will be as the glory of the children of Israel, say the Lord of hosts. Let's see. Continuing on. In that day it shall come to pass that the glory of Jacob will wane, and the fatness of his flesh grow lean. And it shall be when the harvester gathers the grain. We're coming up on that time, aren't we? And reaps the heads with his arm, and it shall be as he who gathers heads of grain in the valley of Rephaim. I need to work on my words a little bit more. Yet gleaning grapes will be left in it, like the shaking of the olive tree, 2 or 3 olives on top of the uppermost bough, 4 or 5 in its most fruitful branches, says the Lord God. It's basically saying that they won't get all the reaping that they want. And in this day, man will look to his Maker, and his eyes will have respect for the Holy One of Israel. See, the problem that Israel has with God is that most of the Israelites that live there now are not practicing. They don't practice their religion. And God wants them to practice their religion. And we know that they're going to have to build the temple and go back to sacrificing. So they're going to have to all get behind that. And what would cause a city to be in a heap? Well, the word used for what is going to be left of the city is the same word that the Greeks used when Jesus was talking about the temple. Not one stone would be left upon another. It's the same word. And what would make it uninhabitable? I can't think of anything other than either it's totally destroyed because of a blast, or a nuclear weapon was used making it uninhabitable. I suspect that's more likely. And it doesn't have to even be fired from Israel. We saw what happened in the port city when the explosives that they were collecting went off. And that was just one warehouse. What if they all blew up? So we've got something coming up here on what's going to happen in Syria. Russia needs a path into Israel to claim the spoils at some point for the Magog War. It's really heating up there, and it's a tinderbox. So one match in there, and the whole thing is going to go up. So what's the trigger? What's the last straw? Don't know, but it could be anything. And we know that with Ramadan just starting, there's all kinds of reasons for them to start attacking Israel. And if they start attacking from the north, they will respond. Israel will respond. Hamas did their damage from the south, but it was only them. There was just a couple of rockets fired from the north. So they kind of were ignored. But what happens if they start firing from north and south? They've been stockpiling in there for some time. And Iran is moving stuff through. They were asked to help in Ukraine. What did they move through and drop off in Syria while they were going? Get ready, folks. We're not too far away. And our government is continuing to flaunt its ability to do whatever they want. There will be a crash coming. It's either going to be caused by the rapture, or they're going to do it without us, and maybe we're going to help. But the bottom line is everything is coming to a head very quickly. It looks like this year is the final set of events are going to happen. And if you're a betting person, which I'm not, you would start taking bets on which event is going to be the first. I'd like to think the rapture would be first. We all would. We want to see the Lord, but we don't know. But it may be one of these other events is going to happen because we're being caught up. Right now, I'm comfortable. I'm not afraid. I'm not worried about anything. I don't need a rapture right now. So if we're going to be caught up, there may be something going on simultaneously or right at the very beginning of it where he has to pull us out. We're in the United States. We think we're safe. They attacked us on 9/11. We didn't expect it. And we have an open border policy with our government. I don't mind letting people from the south come in, from Mexico and come in. They're good workers. I have friends. They're fine people. I don't want terrorists coming in. That's what worries me with an open border. But who knows? Who knows what's here already? We know that the pilots came here and trained for a few years before 9/11. So that took a long time. It's been a while since then. What have they been doing, getting ready for here? We have a very weak government. We had a very weak government with 9/11. Not Bush, the previous administration. So we're looking like we're getting a repeat of that. There may be a repeat in Israel, and it may be simultaneous. And with Iran almost developing the nuke, they may even have it. We're so bad on information coming out of countries that don't allow us in freely. We can go to some countries freely and visit and have embassies, but with Iran, we don't know what's going on there, and we don't know what's going on with Russia. China's a player too, but they're going to be a sideline player because they're going to be sidelined eventually because they're not part of the end-time battles. But be ready. Stay close to God. I'm going to keep watching the skies, which are slightly overcast this morning. But whether there's clouds here or not, we don't know where the where the rapture is going to take place. It's going to take place all around the world, but where are we going to meet in the meantime? Are we going to meet somewhere over Israel? I don't know. It's amazing to think of the options that we have there. We're ultimately going to go to heaven, but are we going to come around the world and meet in one spot and go up? We're just going to all go up from wherever we're at. We get new bodies because you can't go to heaven with these bodies, so I'm looking forward to that. This worn out body needs to be replaced. And we will be coming back at the end in a warring state to finish things off. Of course, we don't have to worry about any kind of battles with God coming with us. Right now, we may be doing individual battles with the Spirit helping us. But when we come back, God will be leading the way. So that's exciting to think about. I do a lot of film work, and it would be nice to have a camera with all that. Who would be the news reporter for that? Because we're going to have 1,000 years to think about and to watch the footage if we had it. God could record it himself too. It's already recorded in his mind. He's already been through it all. All right. Like I said, I've got another work day today. I'm going to try to do a full video tomorrow, a regular one. I've got Monday off, and then I've got 5 days straight. And we work long hours when we work. 10 to 12 is typical. It depends on whether we get caught up or not. If we get behind, we can work extra. Everybody loves to work overtime. You're already there, you're already tired, you might as well go and put a couple more hours in at more pay. It's a nice system, and it's fun. Can't tell you what show I was on, but yesterday I sat in a barroom type setting listening to, I guess I can say, country music without giving away anything. That was a lot of fun. Wore my cowboy hat. And for the next week, I'll have a different hat on, literally, but I can't talk about it. Got to keep these secrets so that you can be surprised when these movies come out. And this one looks like it's going to be a lot, both of them look like they're going to be a lot of fun. Okay. Everybody take care of yourselves. Be kind to one another and find a place to help. Ask God to point you to someone every day that you can talk to about the Lord, and he will. And talk to him. And have your tracts ready to hand out. You can read those with them, or you can just hand them off. It's better to read them with them so you at least know that they heard it at least once. And then leave it with them and let God do the rest. All right. I got to go and get ready, so until we meet in the skies, God bless.